Hey everybody, welcome back to A Brief on Grief. Today is a really interesting video. I want to talk today about the experience, there's a lot of controversy about what different emotions or experiences are. So the experience of awe, or the emotion of awe, and the experience and emotion of anguish. So you may be thinking, oof, that's like kind of seems like opposite ends of the spectrum, which they do. I've thought a lot about awe in the last couple of years and experienced a lot of awe, which I'll go into a little bit later in this video. But anguish, I've never thought about the state of anguish, and I'm thinking about it now and reflecting on these two emotions now because of something I read earlier this week that I'm going to share with you in a book. When I read this description of anguish, did it ever resonate deeply with me? So I will read it for you first and then tell you a little bit more about it. So in this book, it says that anguish is an almost unbearable traumatic swirl of shock, incredulity, I have a hard time saying that word, grief, and powerlessness. Shock and incredulity can take our breath away, and grief and powerlessness can come from our hearts and our minds. But anguish, the combination of these experiences, is not only takes our breath away, takes away our ability to breathe, feel, and think. It comes from our bones. Anguish often causes us to physically crumple in on ourselves, literally bringing us to our knees and forcing us all the way to the ground. So I don't know about you, but when I read that description, a few memories definitely come to my mind of experiences of anguish. Most definitely in when on the day that my marriage ended. I have vivid memories of sitting in my living room floor experiencing this, or laying on my living room floor experiencing this with my husband present as well as without him present. Times in my life in the years before that with struggles and powerlessness and deep grief around my health and some of the relationships, the different upsets and grief and loss that was happening in the relationships with my family. So yes, I recognize this experience well, and reading this earlier this week was actually, it stirred up things for me, and it's been a beautiful little journey. And too much to talk about the whole journey in this video, but in this video, one of the things that was amazing that came out of it is that I was just like, the realization that I not only recognize that experience of something kind of taking my body over in pain, so that I'm kind of crumpling, to the floor, and taking and having my breath taken away with pain of different emotions. I also realized that I've had that experience in overwhelming awe and emotions of joy and shock, incredulity, I can't say that word, but that shock and disbelief of the wow of something in the frame of positive feelings that feel amazing and blow my heart way open. So I thought, wow, there's these like two very different experiences, and yet they're having similar reactions on our bodies. Like both of the experiences of anguish and the experiences of huge awe and amazingness for me, they both take my breath away. And I have memories of being taken to the ground on my knees at like the side of my bed, either in a state of anguish with some of these memories that I mentioned, or lately in the last 3 years, so much in the state of awe when I've realized some amazing like magic that has come from the universe in crazy ways that I never could have imagined, in the awe of some of the way that I'm experiencing love and joy and stuff now, and the way I'm being that for myself and other people, and then receiving it in ways from other people that I've never experienced before. There's so much awe in that, and I've had so many experiences of, like they say, having my breath taken away, having They say it's like a broken heart of anguish, but I look at a state of awe of like a cracking open. My heart is so expanded and so wide at times of that it does take my breath away. And that, like it said, that experience of anguish talks about where it, like, your body, your bones feel it, and it takes over your body and your bones to where you kind of crumple down to a lower state on your knees or to the ground. And I've had that in awe. And it's just, it is so, I'm in a state of awe thinking about the comparison of these two very, very different experiences, but yet they're having similar experiences in my body. There's an experience of kind of a cracking, a deep cracking energy of the heart, right? Either a broken-hearted feeling in the anguish, or a cracking open, expansive feeling with the awe. A feeling that it's so shocking and disbelieving, increduling, however you say that word, that it takes your breath away. So that anguish will take your breath away in pain, and the awe takes your breath away in awe and joy and love, and those energies of love that are so expansive. It's just, yeah, I'm in awe now, which is exactly how I feel when I'm usually in awe. And one of those is that there's no words to really describe it. It's just a feeling. And it's this kind of feeling I've experienced so much in nature too. And in those times when I'm really in awe with nature, it takes over my body, so it stops me in my tracks, so that I can awe at something that's just beautiful, whether it's the abundance of a bare tree with millions and millions and millions of branches, or a glorious like flower that's like just shining in the sun, or the amazingness of like a pure blue sky or a sky of stars. Like, I could go on forever, but an experience of awe will literally stop me walking so that I can take it in, or I've sat or laid on the ground so I can take it in. And again, I think that's another experience of it being a full body awe experience, where it takes over your body. It's not just something you're seeing with your eyes, but your whole body is feeling it and reacting to it. So I think I love this comparison right now, and it's really, really swirling a lot in me. And I just knew it would be a powerful video. So there you go, anguish versus awe. Two very different experiences. One that is pleasurable and definitely we would love to experience. The other one, I think we do a lot to try to run from experiencing this kind of pain. But it gives me comfort. It gives me comfort to realize that these two very different emotions, they're both, it's all just meant to be, right? None is bad. This anguish is not a bad thing to feel. This awe is not something we should always feel. We have to have both. We would have no anguish if we didn't have awe. Just like we would have no grief if we didn't love, right? These are opposite experiences that we both need to experience that whole amazingness of being human. So, anguish and awe. Yeah. I will end it there, and I will see you next time. Thanks, everybody.